Welcome, everybody. It's David Wildstein at the New Jersey Globe. I'm joined by Congresswoman Mikie Sherrill, candidate for the Democratic nomination for governor. Congresswoman, how's your day going so far?
It's going great. The days have been very early because in the final weeks we do the bus and train tours. And so we've been out at the train stops. I was out at Bloomfield early this morning. We were just down in Middlesex County. We're running all across the state trying to get every single vote out today.
Okay. I want to ask you a question. It didn't come up in any of our previous debates, but it's a very important question that I thought I'd ask you. I have found that when a Democrat wins a New Jersey gubernatorial election, Navy is statistically more likely to beat Army in the post-election game. Does that put any pressure on you? That you know,
a lot of pressure. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm following all of my normal election day rituals. So we had I voted with the family. I have two teenage voters now, so they voted, and then we went to the Montclair Diner, the Charbroil, and then we went over to Java Love, which David, I don't know if you realize this as a student of political history, but it was the Upper Montclair Java Love where Siley Avalenda and Elizabeth Juvler first conceived NJ11 for Change. And so we stopped in there to get a coffee.
So you've got to, if you become governor, you've got to put a plaque there that commemorates that as a
That's
as
what
a
I was thinking. I was like, why isn't there a plaque at that booth in the corner?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Governors can name rest stops in New Jersey, and they do it by executive order. You don't need the legislature to give you an okay. There was one point in 1993, Christy Whitman was running against Jim Florio. Howard Stern went on the air and he said, first one to call and promise to name a bathroom at a rest stop on the turnpike gets my endorsement. Whitman's staffer heard it first. She called in and got a Howard Stern endorsement. So you have the power to put the plaque in. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you is that when Army plays Navy in New Jersey, when there's a Democratic governor, 80% of the time Navy wins.
All right.
So
you'll have to get me those statistics over so I can create some luck for Navy.
I will. So you talk about rituals, and this is a big deal for people who've run for office. That politicians are much more superstitious than voters realize. But you said you two of your kids voted for you. This is the first time, I guess, they're voting for their mom.
Well, we think they did. We hope they did. I got in an argument with my son over his wrinkly shirt this morning, and he said, "Watch it, or I might not vote for you."
Well, there are ways of. I don't even want to joke about it. Voting completely private, and no way of knowing that. Has this been? I mean, this is now your fifth primary. I mean, you're not doing this long enough that I don't know that I can name all of your primary opponents in the past. Is this the campaign you wanted to run? Is this, did you get what you were expecting?
Yeah. I feel like I really did. You know how I run, David, you've been around for all of my races. I always start kind of building on those issues that I hear directly from voters are the most important things. And so certainly I got to work right away after I announced, just listening and hearing from as many people as possible. And that's why I talk so much about housing costs and utility costs and healthcare costs and driving those down. It's why I talk a lot about how I'm going to fight back against Trump and the attacks on rights and freedoms, but also the attack on our economy, on all of the funding he is threatening right now when we know that New Jersey is a net donor state. We send $70 billion more to Washington than we get back. So So with all of these things, there's a lot at stake in this election. I've built a campaign around the issues that I think will most impact the lives of New Jerseyans to bring people together. And, I knew I'd be significantly outspent. There's been tons of money in this race. I knew some of my opponents in the race had, different special interest groups or entrenched donors. Uh,
I think you just froze for a second, which is one of the pitfalls to a live stream. But
I ran the kind of race I wanted to run. As you know, I always build out a race based on what I'm hearing from people. I get in touch with as many people as possible. I've spoken to thousands of New Jerseyans about their hopes and their dreams and their fears and what keeps them up at night. And that's why I've developed a campaign based on housing affordability, utility costs, healthcare costs, and then also fighting back against the attacks from Washington on rights and freedoms, but also on addressing all of the ways in which Washington's harming our economy here in New Jersey. So with that in mind, yeah, I feel really proud of the race I've developed and the race I've built. And I have I think over 17,000 people who've volunteered, and we're continuing to grow that and more every day. So I'm really proud of it.
it sounds great. Congresswoman Mikie Sherrill, thanks for joining me. I know you got a lot to do today, and we'll talk soon. Good luck tonight.
Thanks so much and take care.
Thanks. Bye.